Alright, it's been a little while since I've did a video like this, and what I intend to do today is explain away the myth of KoFXIII execution. Now, this has become a topic very recently, much more so, and there's been a lot of extra interest in the game, mostly because of bigger players doing things like the game's trial mode. I want to preface this with saying that the trial mode is not at all representative of combos that are used in real matches. They are typically more difficult with less reward. It's not to say all of them are, but a lot of them are. Combos you will see in real games by real players are typically much easier than what you are presented in the trials, and typically you need to learn things that are much easier than what is presented in the trials to play your character optimally. So, with that in mind, if you're ever like messing around with a game and you're like, oh, I can't do the trials so I can't play this character, throw that idea away, because it's simply not true. Anyway, today I'm going to break down all the tricks, as I said, to how players make the combos easier, and I'm using KoFXIII for this because KoFXIII has a relatively difficult corner-to-corner combo that I don't think is really difficult, but it seems very difficult on the surface. And he has a really easy corner combo, much the same. So you can't reset in the corner in this game, so you do have to I use dash to make me push me to the corner much faster. So I'll show the combo first, and you'll see my inputs, and I do the combo a little bit differently from a lot of people that play this game, so I'll break down how I do it as well as the, I guess, most optimal and most common way that people do it. So let's just start by showing the combo. Easy. So the first thing I want to talk about is activating HD. Now, the first thing that happens is obviously you chain your normals together. If you ever have done a target combo or played an anime game, you know how to do this. If you're having difficulty with it, just practice a little bit. Typically, what I will say is the timing for every character is the same. When you're comboing normals into other normals into command normals, typically the timing is exactly the same of when you need to cancel. So don't worry too much about it. It's just a case of practicing it, getting used to the timing, and then you'll be able to do it with almost every character in the game. But the big thing that people usually say, at least new players, is when they HD, they accidentally get a button that they don't want. And this can actually be abused and used in very specific circumstances. I'm not going to go over that today, but I'm going to show it off, at least how it works. If you're accidentally getting a button when you HD, it's because you HD too late. And I'm going to try and show it off and see if I can get the timing. Yeah. So you see I didn't press heavy punch twice. You know, I just got the heavy punch straight away. And that's because I activated the HD very late. Whereas if you activate the HD on time, just as the attack hits, just before the attack hits, would be the timing I would recommend you to get used to. Then you'll get the slide for the HD. That's something that will come with practice. I don't think it takes a very long time to get used to it. Just practice it over and over again. Don't think about hitting the HD afterwards. Just think, if you're having that problem getting that button, just practice activating the HD off the normal or command normal that you're going to be doing it off of. That's all you need to worry about. Now, the next thing that happens in the combo is after I do stand D because it's more damage, but I'm out of HD so I can't do that. So I do like stand C, and I do it into up kicks. Now, the way I do this is weird to a lot of people that play this game. Now, I do it by doing DP into quarter circle forwards. I'm trying to keep the inputs as clean as I can so that I can show it best I can, so I apologize for missing it. Anyway, that is like the most clean input I can get for it, I guess. The way I do this is dangerous for two reasons. If you accidentally press forward when you do the DP motion and then do another quarter circle forward, you will get a double quarter circle forward, and if you have a super on that, that super will come out. And that's not something that you want. So, there is an easier way to do this, and that is to do a DP, go to neutral, and then press forward in the button. So, like so. what you do is you do your DP input, you press your heavy punch for your DP, you go to neutral, you have to return to neutral, and then you press forwards plus heavy kick or whichever quarter circle forward button that you need. And that will cancel it from a DP to a quarter circle forward in HD every single time. It is the easiest method, it's the method that most people use. I'm weird, so I don't use it. Don't use my method, learn this one. Now, what happens after that is up kick into run grab, and this is actually a very typical B&B for KoFXIII, even outside of HD. One thing I find is that people, when it comes to combos like this, they do it too late. They don't know the timing. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the Buttonhole Trick. Now this is probably the most useful trick in KOF, and it's in most KOF games, if not all of them, from what I know. And what that is there is a buffer in the game where you can do a special move and hold the button that you're using for the special move, and for a set period of time, that special move will be repeated in the buffer every single frame. So that is to say, in this game I believe it's 16 frames, just over a quarter of a second. And what that means is, if I put this into Street Fighter terms, I guess the most simply, is you can think of it as, if you want to get the run grab on the very first frame after the up kicks, you have a 16 frame window, a 16 frame link to get that on the first frame every single time. Because you can do it way earlier than the recovery of the up kicks, and just hold heavy kick down, and it will come out first frame every single time. And this is used repeatedly throughout the entire HD combo. When I do run grab into DP back kick, I do the DP back kick way before the run grab even touches the opponent, because it's a guaranteed to come out every time. And it's the same when it comes to doing the DP afterwards as well. I just hold it down and it comes out. Now, the most difficult part of this combo is what happens next, which is the DP to the run grab to the back DP kick again. This is a test of your ability to execute quickly and also use that buttonhole trick. The moment you do the DP, you need to start doing the run grab, and the moment you start doing the run grab, you need to start doing the back DP kick, so that it looks something like that. This is the difficult part of this combo. It is the only really difficult part of this combo, and that's why I talked about it, about KoFXIII having a relatively difficult combo. There's no real trick to this. When you do the DP, you just need to go to forwards, as you see in my buffer, and then you can start doing the half circle back after you input the heavy punch. And that way you only need to do down forward, down, down, back, back. And you can even miss one of the diagonals as well. And when the run grab comes out, you just have to do the bird kick, back DP, as quickly as you can. And hold the button. You can hold the button for every single part of this 3-hit chain to make it easier for it all to come out frame 1. This is just a test of how quickly you can do your inputs. And that's the hard part of this combo. The next thing that happens in the combo is DP to back DP. This again, there's no real trick to it from my knowledge. You just have to be quick. You can start, the moment you do that DP, you can start inputting the back DP kick, and you can just hold the button. And so long as you're fast enough, it will come out first frame every single time. As for the last part, which is the cancel to Neomax, is DP into Neomax. You can do this, as you can see in the buffer. It's, you just do forward for your DP, quarters forward, press the fierce heavy punch, quarters forward again, 2 punches, it'll come out. I think anyone that's played games with DP into Super should know how to do this. It's very much like all of those games, like, you know, Third Strike or even Street Fighter IV. I don't know of any real anime games that do that, but that's how it works. It's very straightforward. It's not too difficult. With all of what I've spoken about so far, if you keep all of that in mind, specifically one thing is the buttonhole trick, you can start to build and get used to doing these combos very, very quickly, because you don't have to time it the way that you might think that you have to. KoF players do not have some inhuman ability to consistently execute special moves on the first frame that they have to every single time. The game makes it super, super easy. Now, let's talk about Kyo's corner combo, which is pretty easy in my opinion, and it's not one that you'll see, I think, very often. Some people do a different one that is more difficult, but is actually less damage from my testing. So this is the Kyo corner combo that I use and a few other players use, and I think it's relatively easy. Let's just go straight through it. This uses very similar ideas to the corner to corner, but takes out the requirement for that very quick DP run grab, DP back kick. The way this combo works is you're very often using the... I just did it wrong. Using the method where you do the DP, you go to neutral, you press forward, and then you press your kick. You're using this repeatedly over and over again. You're using the buttonhole trick to make sure you always get your DP back kick straight away, and then you're using the trick again to make sure your DP always comes out straight away again. So long as you're using these methods, this combo doesn't have any difficult links, it doesn't have any difficult timing. The only difficult part of the combo, realistically, is the DP back kick, which is just a test of how fast you can do it. If you want to practice it, you can do what I did just there, which is to HD, you do the light DP into the light, and you do 2 heavies, and then you can do light again, and then you can do heavy again. So every time you do light DP, you can do it light DP, back DP kick, heavy back, light back, heavy back. And that way you can practice just doing that over and over and over again if you really want to make sure that you've got it down, that you've got the speed requirement down. I will say though, it is more difficult to do this from the light DP than the heavy DP, because the light DP has faster startup. So it means you do need to actually do it faster to do it from the light DP. So if you can do it consistently from light DP, you'll be able to do it from the heavy DP as well. And I don't think there's much more to talk about, at least for this kind of character. There are tricks for charge characters and stuff, which maybe I'll cover at some point. But these are the main tricks in the game that make execution much easier than what it seems on the surface. You can do it with, if you have a quarter circle back and a back DP, you can do the same thing. You do back DP, return to neutral, press back, and a button. I don't think there are many characters that do that, but I can think of one, which would be Kenso. And it's very rare to even do it. It's a very specific setup and combo. But yeah, these tricks are kind of throughout the game. There are other tricks as well, things like shortcuts for certain moves. If people don't know, you can actually do half circle back forwards, and that's the DP input as well. Any character with a DP can do this as well, and this is used to get around things like accidental supers and buffers and other things as well. You can also do it like, for example, you can do half circle back forward, half circle back forwards, and that'll actually get you an Orochimaru. And the reason for this is because quarter circle back forwards can be as a replacement for quarter circle back, half circle forwards. So you can do quarter circle back forwards instead, and that works too. And you can do quarter circle forward back to do a forward Orochimaru or Rambu input, as we would call it. I might go over a video where I go over these shortcuts as well, but I just wanted to break down kind of the combo execution of this game, because it is not nearly as difficult as people make it out to be. It's not nearly as difficult as it seems on the surface. There are lots of things within the game's buffer and systems that make it significantly easier that people just don't know about. And I think it's really important that they do know about it. So, as I said, I might go over some of the... Another video, maybe I'll go over like all the different shortcuts. Maybe I'll go over the charge tricks that people use. But for now, I think I'll leave this one at this. I hope you enjoy watching it. If you're new and you just learned about this stuff, I hope it is useful to you. And all I can say after this is it's just a case of practice and getting used to using these tricks as much as you can. Because if you're not using them, this game is really hard. Executionally, this game is incredibly difficult if you're not making use of these. So I hope that this will bolster your execution significantly and make you more consistent across the board. Thanks for watching. If you have any complaints, at me on Twitter. I don't read the comments.